How's it going, guys? I don't know what the deal is with these April snow showers we've been experiencing here the last couple of years, but April 9th and it's snowing. It isn't much. It hasn't accumulated hardly anything on the ground, let alone out in the roads or driveways. There's nothing there because it's too warm. But there's our house there in the background. Guys, we moved in. I think it was the last day of March. It was the very last weekend of March. I can't remember what the day was for sure. Seems like it was the 30th or something like that, but we moved in. Shoot, I didn't mean the last day of March, the last day of February. Yeah, February, because we lived in there the whole entire month of March, and now it's April. So yeah, it was like February 28th or March 1st, one of those days. I can't remember now for sure. We're standing out in our pasture, beginning of our pasture area. You know, our goal here is to farm here on this ground. There's not a lot of acreage here. But you don't need a lot of acreage to produce a majority of your own food and maybe have some surplus to sell to help offset the cost of producing your own food. That's our goal, to be kind of self-sufficient, not in like a weird, liberal way, but more of a way where, have cows, have the chickens come in behind it to clean up their, their patties and keep the fly larvae down. Have sheep, have lambs with our mama sheep to, we can milk the mama, but then put the lamb with them in the evening, and so the lamb can get some, take one of the milkings off for us. Anyways, we got a lot of plans like that. We've got a little bit of acreage to make some hay on, so in the wintertime we can feed them hay, and the rest of the time we like to have them out on pasture. So this little corner of the field here that I'm standing in, it's not a lot. We planted this to like a grass, clover, and I think there's a little bit of alfalfa mixed in with this. We planted this like 2 years ago. It doesn't look like much now because it's April and it's been snowed on. But this grew up like 2.5, 3 feet tall last year. It was awesome. I ended up mowing it down because we didn't have enough time to get any fencing finished and get animals out here last year. But this whole hillside over here, starting here at the edge of the woods, all the way across here, we burnt that a couple evenings ago, the kids and I did. I hadn't been mowed, I bet. I can't think of a time it's ever been mowed in my lifetime. I've been coming back on this farm since I was a little kid. I mean, I remember riding my three-wheeler, my Honda three-wheeler around this field when I was like 12. And that was decades ago. And like this corner of the hill would be fun. We'd ride up here real fast and we'd jump that. We'd get a lot of air going off that. Anyways, this hillside was kind of unproductive. And obviously you can tell there's trees growing on it and stuff. There's a bunch of these clumps of these thorny things. I cut a bunch down that were down here and some around this little clump here the other day with the bush hog on the front of the bobcat. Cleaned up a brush pile that was right here. It had a bunch of trash in it. There's still some trash to clean up. That whole hillside we're going to add into our pasture. Burnt it so it would start growing back and have some nice green growth, get all the dead undergrowth off of it. And then we're going to add just a little more of the field here. Till that up and plant that yet this spring to some sort of a grass, clover or grass hay alfalfa mix. So how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've posted a video. We are moved in. You can see the tippy top of our house way out there in the distance. I'm sitting down on the corner of our established pasture. I'm actually sitting inside the bobcat right now because it's awful windy outside. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. It's like 75 degrees or something. I don't think we've had a day this warm yet this year. April 23rd today. And now the pasture is starting to get established. We actually planted this lower ground down here, down in that area, like the year before we even, I'm trying to think now. Yeah, it would have been the year before we broke ground for the house, so in 2019. It's very well established. It grew beautifully last year. It grew beautifully even in 2020. This hillside here, we burnt this hillside off like probably 3 weeks ago now, and it's greening back up and looking beautiful. This hillside here, I don't know, you can't see it real well through on the camera, but it's pretty steep. But there's some places where it's not too bad, and animals will be able to work up and down this hillside. but it hadn't been mowed or burnt off or farmed. I don't, probably it's never been farmed. It's pretty steep. But it hadn't been, and it had anything done with it forever, as far as I'm aware. All of my life, I've never seen it mowed or anything. So we burn it off and it's growing back, so we're gonna actually fence in part of that as part of our pasture as well. And that's what we're working on right now. And I don't know if you can see, I've got a couple of kids of mine coming down here in the low part yelling for me because I called them out here. They just spotted me. So I gotta let you go so I can start having them help me put up fence posts. So we are making progress on getting our pasture fenced in. I've got some of my little helpers down there that are working diligently on putting on our insulators, and hopefully we can get this thing buttoned up here in the next couple of days, because we've got sheep now and goats just this week. We've had pigs actually also for the last couple of weeks, but we won't be putting those on pasture at this point. Just that's how we plan on putting on pasture this week. It's hard to keep in. So, and I've got a daughter who wants her horse here instead of the other horse. Pasture's looking good, and get it contained, and then we'll be able to move our animals over here. First strand of wire is being pulled here. I'm walking backwards, so I'm going to run into a T-post because that kind of hurt. What I'm doing for my setup initially, I may have to change it, is I'm doing the bottom wire approximately 8 to 12 inches off the ground, the second one about a foot above that, and then a third one just, about 6 inches to 12 inches above or below the top of the T-post. I'm recycling a lot of T-posts from, I picked them up through the years from people I know and stuff that didn't need them anymore. And so not all my T-posts are the same height. So we had to kind of, like this one, for example, we had to kind of adjust our insulators accordingly to the height of the T-post. But anyway, we're gonna have sheep, goats, and a horse on this pasture. So the top wire will keep the horse from wanting to step over. I'm hoping the bottom 2 wires will keep the goats and the sheep contained. I have a feeling I'm gonna end up lowering my bottom wire a little bit closer to the ground, but this is what we're starting out with. We're working on moving a couple of the sheep and the goats over into the pasture right now, out of the pens that they were in. And my spouse is a good shepherdess. She has little feet in a bucket. They'll follow her anywhere.
This way, girls. Here.
So that about wraps up this video. It's about a 6-month long video in the making. Behind me is a pasture. You can see some of our katahdins there eating. That's look at my camera. Oh, that's our ram. One of our goats. I don't see the horse back there. I don't see her. Anyways, we've got we've got 7 animals on about 1.5 acres, maybe close to 2 acres of pasture. It's not enough. So everything here behind me that's corn, back in this area on our land, hopefully next year will all be put to pasture, and hopefully we'll get to a point where they can pretty well be rotated across several acres of pasture and keep them primarily on pasture in the warm months. I mean, they're on pasture this whole time. We've been having to give them hay, and we do supplement them with a little bit of grain in the evenings because it makes them happy. So just a quick recap. I've had a lot of video on my phone over the last, what has it been, like 9 months since we moved in? 8 months? 7 months. 7 months since we moved in to the new house, and some stuff I got a little clip here, a little clip there of this and that didn't ever culminate into a full video. So I dumped a bunch of videos the other day. So, but I had a bunch of pasture prep stuff on my phone still. I thought I'd just wrap it all up as this, and then we'll start getting into some other stuff in the video series here. So anyways, it's pretty choppy, not a lot of great content there, but there's something I guess there to throw together, make a video. So thanks for watching. If you guys enjoy my content, subscribe, like my video, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching. God bless and hold the line.